today I have this Chinese lock, which I have no idea what it's called. Oh, whatever that means. But it has 54 moving parts, supposedly. So this is the packaging. It comes in this nice box. Comes with 1, 2, 3, 4 keys, each with different art up the top. So got a pig here. I believe they're all the Chinese zodiac. Looks like it might be the dragon. Anyway, so we've got the lock. Come to that in a second. Under this, more keys. Box. I don't know what half of these things are supposed to be. Might be a mouse. Ram. Goat. Might be a goat. Horse. No idea. No idea. Monkey. And my favorite one here, the snake. I think this one looks the best. Anyway, enough of the art. There's the key bitting. So they're a 3-track thing. Multiple wafer lock. So there we go. Key works that end. Key works this end. I ordered the longest format possible just to make sure that it would really have all of the wafers. But now I see the way it's constructed. A much shorter one would have been fine, but hey, they all cost the same, so might as well get your money's worth, eh? Alright, so let's move this box out of the way. There's also this written on the back, which really I can't read that, but I'll throw it through Google Translate at some point in the future. So today I'm not going to be picking this. I am going to be gutting it, and that could be a disaster, so definitely going to film that and see what happens. There are no videos on this online. As far as I know, I'm one of the... I don't know anyone who's played with one, so going in blind. So I see these come up with an Allen key, so I found the right one for that. And that's about as much as I know, so everything else it'll learn together. So 1 screw. Also, because there's so many parts, I'm using my Sparrow's mat, which I just never use. It sits in a corner. But I figured I might need it for this one. 2. Oh, okay, so, oh, Jesus. Alright, stuff's happening already. I'll leave the other end on then. Okay. So, alright, we've got an active tail piece. Little spinny do. There's probably a name for these beyond spinny do. We've got 1. Jesus. Alright. Got my digs tray here too to assist. So these are in the top. So 1, 2, 3. Also because I may never get this thing back together without a video. I want to be able to watch it in reverse and see what I've stuffed up. So let's see. Pin there. So I think it's a key. Oh. This must be these pins on the side, maybe? They must be bitting. Interesting. 1, 2, 3 little dimple pins. Unexpected. I thought this was just wafers, but I can't remember. It's been a while since I looked at the picture of what it's supposed to look like. Maybe it did say those. So anyway, there's those. Alright, that's all that comes out when I shake it. Oh, there's this other piece of the actuator. Alright. Not the world's best finish there. Not surprising. Alright, we'll come to that in a second. So the other end, it's just hollow all the way up to the other end. We got this fat rod, which is high quality machining there. This piece that went there. Alright. Looks like there's another one of those here. And the same thing. So we'll leave the long end. Alright. This C-clip. This big chip out of the back here. This lock was like $20, $30 or something. So not exactly expensive. How are we going to get this clip off? Doesn't look like that's going to be easy. Alright. One completely ruined clip. We can go down there. Alright, now I guess we're gonna stick this in. Just looking down these holes, see if I can see anything interesting. Doesn't look like. I guess we're just gonna push it out. Don't think I need a follower. I think it's just gonna come out, but we'll just put one in anyway. Oh Jesus, that's a lot of wafers. Boy. Alright, so in fact, nothing in there. Oops, sorry. Nothing in that that's too interesting. There's this channel that runs down the middle. So, alright. So this piece, it's an extension piece, obviously. Yeah, keys in it, so it won't come off. Alright, let's slide. So, I swear this had 2 sidebars on the picture, but it appears there's just one. So, Jesus. Alright, they all want to fall out the bottom, so. Alright, so this piece just comes off there. Holy hell. Alright, so we've got this sidebar here. It's a little bit hollowed out, I don't know if that matters. I'm not 100% sure what exactly. Oh, I guess that goes up in the top of the lock. Yeah, so there's this square bar section up the top there. That's what these pins are pushing on. They must be pushing. That's weird. Pushing it down out of that. What a weird way to do it. Well, work that out later. Alright, oh my god, so yeah, there's nothing to stop them. They're all just gonna fall. So they don't appear to be sprung at least, so that's something. Let's clean some space off. Okay, that's going to be useless for that, so I'm going to put that up out of the way. And, oh god, oh Jesus Christ, there are springs in here. Oh god, it's so many springs. Christ, how that... This is an ungodly number of things. Oh! Wow. Fucking who knows where they came out of. Oh my god, this is going to be a nightmare to put back together. I think the pro tip for this would be never guard one. Alright, so... Jesus. Second last one. The last one. Oops. Trying to break a spring. Oh my god. Alright, just... This is too many things. Alright, so does anything actually hold them in their slots? Yeah, it does. So there are little grooves in here. So here, look at that. So you can see they're all lined out, but if I slide this out a bit, they block that slot. Debating the best way to do this. I'm just going to try and slide them out. Alright, that one's squared this way. There. Yep. Oh, for God's sake. There. That's how we're going to do it. That's a puzzle to assemble later. It's going to be too hard to keep these in order. Okay. Here's the plug. Key. Bazillion wafers. And not as many springs as one might expect. So 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 springs. Now, there's 27 of these wafers should be in each end. So the fact that that's divisible by 3 makes some sense. So right here we got, let's see, a couple of different kinds by the look of it. Okay, so it looks like, here's one of them. Got this true gate in the middle. Got a little bit of a lip here and a lip there. I'm assuming they just travel between this section, so no false gates. That is pretty wide. Where's that sidebar going? I don't really know why the sidebar's got this slot in the middle, but anyway. So, that will... Yeah, there's a bit of slop there. So it should just be a matter of nudging each of them. So as far as I can tell, these have got anything in the way of a false gate. Some of them are a bit fat like this one, and it really comes down in the middle. Yeah, that's really loose. And barely even rests there, so some of these are going to be very easy to set. Now the really hard part, of course, is going to be getting this back together in any semblance of an order. Well, I'm not going to make you sit through that. I'm sure as heck never going to go at the other end. Getting this together again is going to be an absolute nightmare. But there you go. It does appear to be, as described, everything in the picture. I'll show up the picture, which is why I bought it, in a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 wafers. As described, 12 keys, each with pitches. Hopefully in a future video, you'll have me picking the other end, or this end if I ever get it together again. Alright, bit of further analysis. So, sorted these all out. We've got 3 types of wafer. got these ones here, which are all identical and don't really do anything. They're so fat that they just slide along the outside of the key. There's no back and forth movement. So they should be always set, just by spaces really. Got these ones that don't have anything that interacts in the middle of the key, but they've all got this little nub in the corner. So it's just upside down. And so they go along sorry, freehanding this, the side track right up here. So they go along this little groove there, in along this channel. That's these ones. And then these ones are the only ones that actually interact with the cuts down the middle of the key. So these actually have to get set to various places, but even then they really don't have a lot of wiggle room to move. Well, especially if the key's in there, so there's not many possible options. I don't know how far in and out of the plug they can go, but certainly there's not a lot to them, and there's no false gates, so I don't imagine they're going to be too hard. And looking at the pictures, looks like the springs catch on these little lips here. It sits in like this, and they do something. I'm sure they're important, or they wouldn't be there. Anyway. Alright, learning some more about this thing. First off, one of these plug holders. Absolutely mandatory for doing one of these. So, I've managed to get a few in. So, if you do that, you can put this in and you can see that the sidebar lines up. You can drop it in. And then, smooth, great. And then pull it back out. Now, turn it back this way, pull the key out. If you do it like this, actually I want to slide by that way. It makes it a lot easier. So then you can take a disc, or a wafer rather, that you think might be correct. You can slide that down. And then you can find one of these tiny springs and you slot that down as well. It has to be on the side away from the sidebar. And then you take one that goes, that you think might be the other pair for that one. You chop that one down next to it, and whoop, if you get it right, I need thinner tweezers. Load it up, they should end up spring loaded opposed to each other. Then key will go in, you can turn it around and you can see if the sidebar still lines up. Which it does seem to, sort of. Yep. I'll have to turn anyway. And then continue on. It's going to be a long process. Of course, you've got to take the sidebar out before you can turn back to gently pull the key out. Make sure you keep your thumb over it so then it go pling and into oblivion. Alright, got it back reassembled. It's much effort, much decoding. Biggest pro tip once again, make sure you use something like this to hold the plug when you got it. So it does work. Here's a key. Key works. It's a little bit crunchier than it used to be, but operates, and the other end still untouched. Okay. Also works. Works. Okay, now as far as picking this thing, I don't know if I made it clear earlier or not, because like this is the next day since my last bit of filming. but it's basically impossible to tension. You do that, but when you do it like this, the sidebar, instead of being binding, instead of it now pushing into the pins, when you turn it like it normally would on a sidebar that's sprung out, and then you turn it and it binds against the housing, this is pushed down the sidebar by pins up here. So when you try and turn the core under tension, that sidebar just binds against the housing here. It gets jammed up. And when that's jammed up, it doesn't matter even if you did manage to get all these set right, it won't fall in. And in fact, while it's like that, none of these bind. Everything is still just loose. So there's no way to pick it unless you can get it out of that position to a neutral position, and then somehow get tension on the sidebar from the top. Now, the tolerances on this thing are pretty loose. There's a lot of width. I don't know, maybe you could somehow build a wire or something that can snake up and around and apply pressure down so you can get past that lip in the sidebar, which locks it up. But as it currently is, like this, despite being a very low tolerance lock, those wafers slide all over the place. You can almost put them wherever and it still functions. There's only a handful of spots where it really won't work. But even despite that, it's pretty much unpickable with that sidebar design. So this will remain unpicked, I think. But it's a very cool lock, and it certainly does have all of the features as described. And it comes with 12 keys, which is nice. Here's the box again. Has some stuff on it. I did run this through the Google Translate. This basically says to make sure you lubricate it, and some other stuff. Calls it a Class C lock. There's the manufacturer name here. This says, I don't know, this didn't translate very well, but it basically describes the security of it. There's the front again. So there it is. Picked, gutted, reassembled. Gutted, reassembled. Learned about how it works. But yeah, it's not getting picked anytime soon. So there we go. That's what I learned. Make sure you disassemble it with one of these to avoid a disaster.